Still love that song.
Still forget how loud that intro is.
Oh, is it? I gotta adjust that.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of WWE Mat Chat, the official podcast of the WWE subreddit. I know it's been a couple weeks. Actually,
Yeah.
just over a month.
Yeah, we had a lot going on because the last one we did was right before. What was it right before?
It was right after Ron Killings.
It was before main event. Yeah, it was before all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. So it was.
No, it was
PLE
after
happened?
main event. Because we talked about the Ron Killings attacking. It was right before Money in the Bank.
It was before Money in the Bank, but it wasn't before main event because
it was after main event because we talked about the Ron Killings thing, his attacking Cena and coming back.
No, because he had a match at main event with Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Flip floppy on that one. Anyway, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
We were moving.
So much has happened. We completely fucking forgot.
Yeah, new office. Look at this. Whole new setup. Still not decorated yet. Got to decorate all the walls and put up collectibles still. My poor Liv Morgan auto is down in the garage. Not even hanging up yet. Sad.
Slacker.
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Mine has still changed. Minus I added the 3D printer.
No new mask.
And by probably not next episode, but there's going to be another belt added to this collection.
Which belt?
The Undisputed version 2.
All right.
Had to get something. The guy who made this belt screwed it up so bad that he's sending me a free belt. So,
oh gosh,
we'll see how that goes. But
all right,
it's been a long couple weeks, but we're gonna
a lot happening in the world of WWE.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't add to our discussion today, but I did want to touch on it real quick, is Dom in AAA. And because I was on the subreddit today and somebody posted a screenshot of Dom in the ring when he was right after he attacked Vikingo. And you could see they did a close-up of his arm. You could see his hair standing up and the goosebumps for his reaction. And it's
Worlds Collide was after our last podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were leading up to it. That's right.
Yep.
So that was my first real lucha. No. Yes.
Yeah, that was your first real.
Yes, that was my first real lucha pay-per-view because Worlds Collide. We watched Worlds Collide, but then we watched Triple Mania.
Yeah.
After that, which was my first true lucha CLE. Worlds Collide is my first real introduction into lucha, but it was still that like hybrid of lucha and WWE. Yeah. So it was like kind of the hybrid. But with that, I mean, I got to see, who was it, like Berto and Angel, like actually like perform.
Yep.
Like Santos and guys actually get to perform and be who they were, which was really impressive. So, yeah.
And I love it because it shows that contrast of cultures. The US, Dom hated. Well, he's on that fence right now, but he's still getting booed.
They love to hate him.
Yeah, but he's still getting booed when he's on the mic and all that stuff and when he comes out. But as soon as he took that mask off in AAA, the pop, you could, and I don't know if you saw it or if any of our viewers saw it, but or listeners, when they showed it live on TV, you heard a pop, but obviously, it wasn't obviously edited, but the mics don't pick up a lot of that background and a lot of the fans as much. But if you go and look on social media, the people who were in the stands and the fans that were recording it, that pop was hella loud.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. But not only that with the cultures, not only with Dom, but if you go on social media and look at the backstage interaction of El Grande Americano with...
Bro, he's like crazy over right now.
They were like singing his entrance and he like... And I love that they have Ludwig as El Grande right now because his Spanish is on point. He can interact with the fans in their, language in Spanish. And it's just a difference when you watch him on
The man can also he can fly.
Mm-hmm.
Like we haven't really seen him perform, right? Like we have, but I feel like he's been limited in his role as Ludwig when he was with Imperium. But
Right.
now, we assume he's El Grande. It's speculation, but we've really been able to see him shine as a performer, as like
Yep.
an athletics. Like it's cool. It's really cool to see. And I think that was the same thing with Chad, right? We were able to see this different side of them, um, where they're able to show off more than they can
Yep.
because their wrestling styles under their WWE names are very limited in how they perform and what they do. But
Right.
this one, they've just
They
been
have
able to
to
kind of,
stay in that character and how
yeah,
they
yep,
can, and that
yeah.
how the character
Ludwig's been impressive, man.
he really has been.
Yeah.
But that leads right into our first topic, which is
Wow.
yeah,
Look at that
the
segue. Look at you getting better at these segues.
the El Grande Americano multiverse.
Multiverse. Yeah.
And all I can think of is that Spider-Man meme where
Oh,
they're all
yeah.
pointing at each other. And I wonder if that's how it's going to kind of turn out is
I
they're
hope
going
so.
to now that we're assuming it's Pete Dunne as the new one that showed up on Raw.
That's
on
our
Monday.
speculation. Yep.
Yep. So I wonder if they're going to do when Chad comes back that triple threat match and whoever doesn't win has to unmask.
What if they do a triple threat of El Grande Americanos?
That's what I'm saying. They have all three El Grande Americanos
Oh,
in
okay,
there,
gotcha. Yeah.
and the person that wins gets to keep the mask, and the other two have to.
So it's funny because we were watching Raw and we were talking about the El Grande Americano stuff just in the group chat and in Discord, and then somebody, I think Rachel, no, it was Alex said something about we might see another El Grande Americano show up tonight,
Yep.
and sure enough, we did. And Rachel was the first one to call it as Pete Dunne, which that speculation's leaning pretty heavily into it being Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
The detectives have been showing all the different things and trying to pick it apart. But man, I just
with the Chad Gable, it was obvious. With Ludwig, it was obvious. With Pete Dunne, to me, it was a little less obvious, but you can still tell.
Yeah. It was great though. A completely different mask too.
Multiverse?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Completely different mask though. They didn't just do because I think Ludwig's. Well, sorry. Let's just. You know what? We're speculating here. We don't know for sure these identities. Chad Gable swears up and down it's not him,
unless he's at a baseball game.
Unless he's at a baseball game. But, sometimes you say things in the moment.
Yeah.
But no. So El Grande Americano won. I feel like their costumes are similar but slightly different between 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the third one that's
they
shown
have
up,
to be the new one's a little taller.
yes, yeah. Well, I feel like the third one though. I mean, they went completely different, like a different mask and everything. Like it doesn't have the same horns, shapes, wings, all that stuff. So I really wonder how far they're going to dive with this thing.
Spider-Man 2099.
Right? Like if we're gonna get El Grande 2099 come in.
Yep, that's the new one.
He's just got claws. Yeah.
Yep.
But I think, and so I'm curious, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but about WWE Unreal and some of the things that were said in that. But I think this is a kind of a good time to bring it up is how they talked about, who was it? John Cena, Triple H, they were talking about in that show how they're listening to the fans.
Yeah.
Because if you don't listen to the fans, you don't respect the fans, they're gonna eat you alive.
Right.
And I think we've seen how Triple H very much his creative team has leaned into listening to the fans. So I wonder if El Grande started as an experiment because we know that they're doing long-term storytelling, right?
Yeah.
They've got plans for months and they talk about how they plan them as seasons and months and years. So I wonder if El Grande was like maybe an experiment and they just wanted to see how people would receive it. Because remember, we had that whole thing at the beginning where they changed the music they changed his location from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and then there's backlash, and they went back to Gulf of America. So I'm wondering if what it is it's really WWE creative listening to the fans and saying, "Oh my gosh, this El Grande is hitting better than we thought. So now they're expanding that story even more. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you they had like stuff written up that if it works, hey, we're going to do this. If it doesn't, then we'll, shift to a different plan. But yeah, I just love that the fan speculations of there being a multiverse, of there being more showing up, it's coming to fruition now. We're
Yeah.
seeing this happen. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
there's a lot to unpack with it, so I'm like excited,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that when Chad got hurt, we all thought that when Chad was announced that he was hurt and he was going to be out of action, and so was El Grande Americano, we were all like, okay, that's the end of that character.
Mhm.
But then shows up. I mean, I'm glad they didn't just sweep it under the rug and they kept it
Mhm.
going.
Well, and the fact that Alpha Academy too is like doesn't know what's going on, right? They're playing it like
Mhm.
they have no clue. They're being kept in the dark. So I love that it's really adding to that mystery of, which I mean, really is what luchadors are all about, right? The luchadors have that element of mystery to them, of this like this mystique. And then I think the other thing too with El Grande is like how well he's been received, like we were just talking about, by the Spanish Latin American community.
Yeah.
Like you sometimes, because at first there were certain voices out there that were speaking and saying, "Oh, this is offensive to lucha libre and blah 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 blah," but
Mhm.
the overwhelming majority of the fans have embraced it.
Yeah.
Like it's storytelling, it's wrestling, it's drama, and I
And
think
that
El Grande has really played into that telenovela drama
yeah.
aspect of things, and it's bringing a whole new crowd into WWE, right? Like, granted, Rey Mysterio has been around for a long time, and you got Santos and Andrade, and like there's Dragon Lee. There's a lot of great luchadors, and especially bringing Penta and Ray into the mix, Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix. I think that I knew that helped me as a fan that didn't know much about lucha. That helped me really like want to learn more about true lucha, and now with El Grande, he's really bridging that gap too between the casual like WWE that doesn't know a ton about lucha and that even more like he's bridging those two worlds together
But
community
going
wise, like.
but going back to what you said about, the fans that said it's a slap in the face to lucha libre, but again, that's the cultures. And a lot it was, and I've noticed this, and I'm not trying to bash anyone, but a lot of the American lucha libre fans are the ones that were speaking out about it. The Mexican culture that watches AAA, goes to those shows, are, and we saw it with Dom and El Grande over the weekend. That culture embraced it and they
Mhm.
love it. They're not looking at it as a slap in the face. That was weird.
Oh yeah,
I
you glitched.
Yep. I think they're finally happy to see, because under Vince, we didn't see a lot of expansion into lucha because he didn't like
Mm.
that flippy style stuff.
Or any
Um,
promotions outside of them either.
right. And I think
Yeah.
that's what we're seeing now is the Mexican culture is finally happy that Triple H and WWE is embracing that style and
Yeah.
willing to venture down there. And we saw that with them bringing Penta in and over the weekend
Mhm.
in Mexico City. His entrance with
Oh my
the
gosh.
homage to that culture was his headdress and everything. We saw it a little bit when he was in AEW when he came out with Ray Phoenix. They had the Mexican headdresses on, but that was just probably one of
Yeah.
my best entrances he ever did.
That was so cool. And then, well, even Stephanie Vaquer,
Mhm.
right? Like she came out with like it themed more for Mexico and lucha. I think that's the thing, right? Is that like we really, because again, lucha has a very rich history and
Mhm.
cultural significance and everything. And I've enjoyed getting to know more about it. I've been interested wanting to learn, right? And what I love is that what WWE has done, because we were worried, right, when they announced the AAA collab, we were worried, oh no, are they going to like try to Americanize it? Are they going to impose WWE TKO stuff on it? But we saw with Worlds Collide and then with Triple Mania that they've done a very good job of saying like, hey, you guys run it, we're here to be a part of it,
Mhm.
and honoring the traditions of lucha and how they perform and how they do things, and not like trying to say this is how we do it in America, and just letting their superstars go there. And like I was saying earlier about some of those guys like Los Garza and all them, or Legado del Fantasma, even just being able to be more themselves,
Yeah.
right? Like do more of the risky stuff and things like that. And so yeah, I think that's been great because we get to see more of the talent come out.
And the fact that we're actually going to see AAA tag titles defended on a WWE show
Yeah.
is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because we saw TNA titles on NXT, all that stuff, but on one of the main roster shows.
And then we saw the NXT people pretty much sweep the TNA titles on their own pay-per-view.
Yeah. But see,
That surprised me.
I could talk about this all day because going to TNA, my first TNA show in probably 22 years was on Thursday for Impact in Providence. But that was when they all came out, and when they all lost their titles on at Slammiversary, the main titles, and now they all have all of their main titles are in NXT. I was like, okay, WWE is trying to, buy them out, just sweep it under the rug. This is the next step in the buyout, yada, yada. But when they came out and they were like, you know what? They have our titles, but we're going to fight for them. This is war now, pretty much. WWE, I didn't think was ever going to go this route. And none of us fans that grew up in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s would have ever seen this happening.
Yeah. It's kind of like Raw is war again, in a different way. So it's like the WWE NC
the WCW versus
WCW,
WWE, Raw versus Nitro. I was, and I will never forget when I was actually at because I grew up in Hampton Roads in Virginia Beach, and we used to always go over to Norfolk. It was like 15 minutes from my house. We used to go to the Norfolk Scope for all of our WCW shows because they were there like once a month. So I was actually at the Monday Nitro, and we got there early, right when DX showed up on the Jeep. I will never forget that day. It was pretty nuts.
This is really we're gonna have to figure out for the podcast going forward, because we are the WWE podcast. But the thing is, they're crossing so many of the worlds now. It's like, we do have to talk about the TNA stuff that happens sometimes, because again, AJ Styles was at TNA's event. Right. Yeah. He has a rich history with TNA. And then you have, the WWE superstars that are going to, Lucha AAA. And then like they're meshing these groups together, right? It's no more restrictive of this is our promotion. We're going to crush everybody. It's now like, hey, we are professional wrestling. We're in this together. How can we do this and make it better for everybody? How can we give people platforms that they wouldn't normally have?
And we're seeing it with even this coming weekend. Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
The new El Grande. Supposedly. He's going to be
speculation.
Yeah, he's going to be at a GCW event in New Jersey this weekend. Yeah. So wonder if
because we've got things like Joe Hendry's been heavily involved with NXT. I mean, again, talking about the titles, Trick Williams, all of them have been going over to TNT for different things. Like who else? Ethan Page, right? Like, I mean, we've had these crossings of the world, and especially even with the Royal Rumbles. At this point, you don't know who's going to come out at this point. Yeah. Like it's somebody from a completely different promotion could come in. I mean, we've got belts showing up on WWE TV, TNA belts. So it's kind of like this crazy world that they've created. But again, it's bridging that gap, I think, where, you don't feel like you have to like a promotion's exclusive, right? Especially since these wrestlers have such history with different promotions, right? Even the stuff that they're talking about with the New Japan and different things like that, which we'll start seeing more of, because so many of these superstars, Finn, Io, like who else? I mean, I think Bailey was New Japan too.
I don't remember. I don't believe so.
No, Asuka. I know Becky Lynch had some stuff over there, but again, so many of these superstars have ties back to Japan promotions. So I think we're gonna start seeing that too.
And we see it not only with the bigger promotions like AAA, TNA, all that stuff, but even going as far as them starting this next in line, the NIL thing, and all that, where they're signing these independent wrestlers that they think could be something, and they're helping them out financially so they can grow their craft. That's one thing we never saw before, and I think is going to help grow the business in the long term, because they're actually giving these younger guys that are like still green, they don't really know, they have all the mic skills yet, but the execs in WWE see something in them, so they're signing them, paying them, helping them get to their independent shows so they can train.
Mm-hmm.
And giving them full access to the PC if they need it, I believe, and all that stuff. So this is a new, like we heard it in the last couple of years. Really is a new era for.
Yeah, it's the Paul Levesque era.
It's the Triple H era.
But like even to that point, right? Because aren't they doing things like with Jessica Carr, the ref? Aren't they doing things where like she's wrestling
down
on independent? Yeah, she's involved. Yeah,
Evolve.
so they're giving people chances to, like you said, do stuff. They're looking for new opportunities to give talent chances.
And I wonder if that stemmed from Samantha leaving, because she wanted to be a wrestler. She wanted to be more involved, and they just pigeonholed her into an announcer position. And I think that when she left, she came out and said, I wanted to do more, but I wasn't allowed to.
Sometimes it takes someone leaving to make changes happen.
For them to be like, oh, wait, let's take a step back and learn from this situation. And it's refreshing to see them doing that.
And the other thing too, again, it's like, because you have Triple H who's really running a lot of this now, and he was a wrestler. He came up from the ground up. Now, while Vince, who was in charge before, had a history in wrestling, his father was part of, ran the promotion and everything. I think it's different because Triple H actually came up and had to make his way through up to the big leagues. And so he understands that struggle. And we'll get into this again on Unreal, because you even hear him talk about that a little bit on Unreal, and how like they recognize, because now the whole production team, everybody on the production team is a former in-ring performer.
I was going to touch on that. Yeah.
So I think that makes a huge difference in the understanding.
Yeah. And it is refreshing. And we will get into that more when we talk about Unreal, because that show, I'm only 2 episodes in and already loving it.
Yeah.
But I did want to touch on what happened last night. Because
why does it cut me off every time you go to a new scene?
Oh, hold on. Because I had to rebuild the scenes because
gotcha.
And it just did. I forgot to add you to them
I'm gone. Okay.
You're here. But we saw Roman for years as the top guy, champion for over 1,000 days. He was
like 1,300 something days.
Yeah, something like that. But we're seeing him now getting stomped by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
So
I just don't understand it.
Well, I think I have a little bit different perspective, because you were a hardcore Roman fan for a long time, right? I didn't understand the Roman hype when I started watching.
Roman hater for the longest time.
But when I came back to WWE, it was during the Bloodline saga that was going on, and it was at that point in the Bloodline saga where it was getting really kind of, okay, this is repetitive. So you have a lot more investment in the Roman character because you've seen him from Shield all the way up.
Yeah.
For me, I have a little bit different perspective, because I see Roman from the end of the Bloodline, where he was the champ for so long, and him with Cody and all that stuff, and kind of going through it. So I think part of what they're doing is, I think they're using him to try to help Braun get over more and make Braun look strong. And make him look strong. Now, let me talk about this, though. Bronson, man. Disrespecting the man by taking his shoes. What was that?
Why?
The man took his J's. What's going on?
Totally disrespected.
And he probably put them up on eBay the next day. They're on StockX right now.
It's like, why you got to steal the man's Air Force Ones?
I really am curious as to what the conversation was like after that happened. Like, Roman's like, oh, Bronson, what the hell, man?
Jay walked through the curtain with no shoes on and was like, for real, bro?
Yeet.
I would have died if he would have chucked him into the crowd and yelled, yeet.
I think what we're seeing, though, with Roman is we saw him untouchable for so long. so strong for so long. People accuse him of not really defending the title a whole lot and this and that. And he had all of his, bloodline doing everything for him, defending him and helping him win his matches. I think what we're seeing is this Roman breakdown. They're trying to make Roman look weak. They're trying to make him so that his comeback is going to be stronger than ever.
But one thing I did think of, because a lot of fans would talk about it, is almost not every, but a lot of his matches that he won to retain the title, he had help.
Mhm.
Somebody came in to help him. There's no one there now. Jey Uso's coming around. Jimmy's going to, but he's pretty much alone. He doesn't have his wise man. So
Nope.
I'm wondering if they're showing, that side of, can he do it by himself?
Yeah. I think that's what I say. I think they're setting him up to look stronger than before, right? They want Roman to stand as a solo, not a solo Sikoa, but as a solo, like a power, like an independent power. Because I mean, he took the three of them on in the ring at that one time. I think we're going to see Jacob come back as his enforcer too.
I see what they're doing with him now, and last night, freaking Braun Breaker spearing him and Jay through the barrier. Yep. It made me literally think that if Braun or Brock Lesnar, sorry, had a freaking, the BR names just got to me for
There's
a second.
A lot of B names.
They threw me off, but they never, in all the years that Brock Lesnar was the face or the big dog in WWE, they never made him look really that weak. He never got demolished like that. But now you got Roman, who's been booked as the top guy for so long. Now it's just like, why?
I think part of it is because that was Vince. That was Vince's guy, right? And now Triple H is in charge. So I think what it is, again, it's almost a way of them having Roman prove himself again. Right? Like, you can't ride the coattails of your success. Like, you got to prove yourself. Now, I don't think that's what they're doing to him behind the scenes, but I think story-wise, that's kind of what it is. Like, Roman's going to have to, prove himself because he's still got the fans. He's still the OTC. He is still the tribal chief to the fans and to the universe. So I think this is just...
Oh, he's the OTC one. I still don't understand that T-shirt.
It sells.
True.
But I think maybe that's just the angle we're going to see is this. I don't know. I think more of it's going to start unfolding with SummerSlam. Because I'm really curious as to what's going to happen between him and Cody. We've already seen him and Seth a little bit, but now Seth is out for a bit. We even saw that moment
we're going to see him and Cody as much anymore.
I don't think it'll be as much, but I think there will be some crossover. I think there'll be some team ups here and there. Because I think Cody's going to owe Roman a little bit to help him at some point. But then we also saw that tension moment between Roman and Punk.
Yeah. What I think is the next step before we get into, moving into, speculation for Mania next year, because whatever happens at SummerSlam, people start talking about Mania for next year and how it's going to lead into it. But I'm hoping that we see something at SummerSlam, and we'll get into that with the predictions. But I have a little bit of a hopeful prediction for that and fan booking, but I hope we do see more at SummerSlam come out of it. I hope we see Tama Tonga come back.
Smalla Tonga.
Smalla Tonga. We got Tala Tonga. Now we'll have Smalla Tonga. Shorter Tonga.
JC Mateo is Bigger Tonga.
But I still am not.
It's an Eminem.
The Roman thing. I still don't buy Bronson Reed as somebody who should be on that level. But
I agree. Because even they were talking on last night's episode of Bronson, oh, we do have a leader, and they're looking at Bronson. I'm like, whoa, you're trying too hard to push him. If you're looking at him as the leader, I would believe Braun being a leader before I would believe Bronson in a lead role of any kind. You know,
I don't
and I
even buy
don't.
Bronson Reed as somebody who should be in a mid-card match. I just don't like
Yeah,
respect to him as a person, character-wise, just don't buy into it.
they haven't. I think the thing is they haven't developed his character enough to justify him being on such a big stage right now that he's with Seth and you know Braun and Paul Heyman, and then all of a sudden you have Bronson Reed. Again, nothing against him. I think he's, a good wrestler and he's gotten a lot better on the mic and stuff. But again, there's been no story as to
Yeah.
why he's involved in this.
The
Like
one
Braun Breaker
time,
makes sense because it's like Paul Heyman wants to push him. He's the future of the business, the
yeah,
future,
he's
blah, blah,
been
blah,
in
blah.
those
That makes
title
sense.
matches. He was the
Plus,
IC
he has
champion.
legacy, right? He's got
Mhm.
legacy with the Steiners and all that stuff. So he's got this like aura about him, this past story that's already been being built.
Is it sad that I was more of a fan of Bronson Reed when he was injured and talking shit on social media than he is in the ring? Because his tweets during shows when he was talking
Yeah,
trash
there
about
was some
some of
good
the
stuff.
wrestlers in the ring, and when matches were over, he was talking trash on like Instagram and Twitter. His tweets were amazing.
Yeah.
Let him do that in the ring.
Speaking of social, Drew McIntyre's still killing it with social right now.
Oh God.
His promo he cut being stranded in England.
When he pointed to the cow behind him
Talked
and
about
said it was Jelly Roll, I was like, come on.
oh, savage.
Yeah.
But he's still killing it with social. Drew.
And we talked about it of like, I think it was the last episode or the episode before, on how these guys need to build themselves on social media.
Mhm.
And this is a perfect segue into
I'm back.
into discussing Unreal, because
Oh,
going back to talking about social media and the wrestlers having their own ability to create their own stories and characters, Triple H touched on that in the first episode, where he was like, we listen to the fans, and you touched on it earlier. We listen to the fans. These guys at this point in WWE, as opposed to any time in the past, they can create what they want. And if the fans buy it, they're going to go with it. Because there was so much in this episode. And I know you didn't watch episode 1 or episode 2, I mean, and I don't want to, give too much away, but when they start getting into the Royal Rumble in episode 2, it just goes to show how much they listen to the fans. Because as we were all going into Royal Rumble, it's no secret, we all thought, because Cena's final run, he was going to win. We all thought it was going to be him or Punk was going to win the Rumble. That's what everyone thought. And when they were in the boardroom talking about the Rumble before it, and they were like, who do you see winning the Rumble? Every single person in that room said Cena or Punk. Except for, I forgot who it was that mentioned it, but he goes, why don't we let Jay win? He was like, he's over with the fans. He's huge right now. Let's ride that momentum. Let's keep that going. And Triple H, agreed with him. And, it just goes to show, that Triple H is willing to listen to that one person in the meeting with a difference of opinion than just everyone else, because it sounds good.
I think that's the big difference too, because you hear stories now about how things were under the previous regime and how people were afraid to go with ideas and anything. But now, and I think this is the thing too, you kind of see this in the first episode where one of the producers, who was it, Abyss, I think,
Yeah.
he the timing was off and they were like over on the Netflix, and Bruce Pritchard was like, yeah, even with Netflix, you think we can go 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever we want, but we can't. We
He's
still
like,
have
nope.
times we have to keep. And you could tell the dude was freaking out making the calls, and he's so apologetic and stuff.
Yep.
And Richard was like, hey, it's fine. It happens. You did your best, right? Like you
Yeah.
still put on a good show. And I think that's the big difference, is that you have people that worked under Vince. And I guarantee you under Vince, it was not as understanding.
Oh God, no.
And now,
Even at the end, even after that match, when he talked to Bruce Pritchard, he was like, and then he was talking to William Regal.
William Regal. Yep.
And William Regal was like, you did really good. He was like, be happy with yourself. He was like, I want to make him happy.
Yeah.
And William Regal was like, are you happy? He's like, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because they
And
said it was a good show.
yeah,
And that's what's important, is that we put on a good show.
because you could see it, he was, when he went up and talked to him, he was like, we cut out so much. He was like, we tried, I'm sorry.
He was
And
panicking, yeah.
yeah, he was. But it just goes to show that them having wrestlers in those positions that have been in the ring before for years, makes things
knowing what they can cue to cut and things like that, right? Knowing how the flow goes helps being able to cut things and make it natural still.
Yeah.
So let me rewind to the beginning of Unreal, because I think Unreal is going to be a polarizing thing.
Oh, 100%.
In that you've got the one set of fans that's like, nope, we still need to keep kayfabe, don't go behind the curtain. We want the illusion still, which I can understand and respect. But then you got the other side of it, who I would call myself not as hardcore of a fan as that. But I also have a big background in production and live production and directing and stuff like that. So for me, this is exciting to see, because I know that it's a performance. And I know that, like, again, growing up, 100%, those people were larger than life. Taker, all those guys, they were those people. They were those characters. But now this is this different era. But I think the difference that I'm seeing too in this era is that you hear Cody talk about it, you hear Punk talk about it. The superstars that we're getting in this era are not mythical beings. They are extensions of the person. So I think the Drew McIntyre we see, that's just an extension of Drew McIntyre. That might be Drew McIntyre cranked up to 11, but it's Drew McIntyre, right? Rhea talked about that, how, Rhea Ripley, the character, is all the things that Rhea can't be behind, out in public.
Yep.
It's what she wants to be.
Her times 10.
Yeah, it's the side of her. She says, I like to imagine that this is the person who would be arrested anytime she came out in public. I love that line too.
She was like, that's the version of me that I think would get arrested out in public.
And Punk is like, this is who I am. Like, you get who I am. So that's the thing. Like John Cena, he's like, my name, John Cena. My ring name, John Cena. My government name, John Cena. I think that's the thing, is that these superstars that they're creating now are believable, and that they still have a gimmick. They still have this character, this angle, but they're real people that, again, their personalities are cranked up to 11, which is what it should be. It's performance, it's showmanship. And so for me, I love the peek behind the curtains, because you get to see how these people work so well together that can be absolute mortal enemies in the ring. But that trust that they have as friends allows them to push themselves even further in the performances, because they trust each other so much. And
see, I'm one of those people that, I've been a wrestling fan for, we'll just say, a couple years.
Yeah, like a hardcore wrestling fan too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been hardcore wrestling fan since the 80s. So I think the first time I ever watched wrestling was in like 84, 85, when I was like 4 or 5 with my cousins. So I've been a wrestling fan for 40 years. And it's like those fans that want to keep kayfabe, it's a TV show. You don't keep actors don't keep kayfabe when they're in a TV series. They don't keep their character off screen.
Then those types of actors too are so many different characters. Right? Like, you go to a convention to meet Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion's been such a popular character in several different movies and TV series. So I think we're being encouraged to fall in love with the people. Yes, the characters, but like, what you're seeing is, and I think this is another thing too with it, is that we're now in this era, a new era, of getting characters that are believable, but characters that anybody can aspire to be.
Right.
A young girl can aspire to be the next, Rhea Ripley. A young boy can aspire to be the next Randy Orton. Like, yeah, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and, the right avenues to open up, but you can do it. If you want to do it, it's achievable. No, you can't become the Undertaker, because the Undertaker was this undead supernatural being who was a phenomenal character.
And I was just about to bring that up is like, and you said it, wrestlers now are real people. Kids can see that those are like real
Mhm,
people. But back 90s, early 90s, it was all about characters. You
mhm,
had to have the right character or gimmick. You know, Kane was
mhm.
originally Isaac Yankem DDS. You had characters like Bastion Booger, Duke the Dumpster Drosy. It was all about, over the top gimmicks. It wasn't
Yeah.
about being who you really are. And that's what I liked about, and that's why I think Unreal works now,
Mhm.
because back then kayfabe, yeah, they were characters in the ring. They weren't themselves. Now they're themselves. So when you see that when you go watch Unreal, you see pretty much who you see in the ring, but behind the
Mhm.
scenes,
Yeah.
they're they're the same person. Yes, but they're in the ring fighting. Cody's in the ring fighting Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens
Yep.
putting him through a ladder, and then behind the scenes, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I did that." So it was you get to actually see, more of who they are,
Mhm.
and that extension of who they are. Because, like you said, Rhea Ripley said that this is me times 10.
Yeah.
So
And she said as soon as that music hits, Rhea Ripley comes out.
the
She's a different
switch.
person. And I think that's the other thing too, is that this show shows you just how good they are at their craft. Not only
Mhm.
are they athletic and strong and powerful physically, but how good they are at selling a character that they
Mhm.
create. Because certain characters, you hate them,
Yeah.
but you love them. Dominic Mysterio, it's so much fun to boo him. Solo Sikoa, it's so much fun to boo him. But you know that, like, you can actually say, I genuinely enjoy that person and
Yep.
that character, right?
Yep. If
Like,
you're booing them, they did their job.
yeah, exactly. Like Charlotte Flair, right? I did not like Charlotte Flair when she returned.
I love her
But
now.
the way that yes, the way that they've developed her character and the way she's doing the stuff with Alexa, I'm like, damn, okay, yeah, I'm digging this now. Like, I want more Charlotte and Alexa.
I
And
and
Charlotte
when
actually looked really good in her
Mhm.
last match with Alexa. She looked great. She looked back. She looked like she was enjoying herself again.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When Charlotte came back, we hated her. We didn't want to
Mhm.
see her, succeed. We didn't want to, even see her, let alone see her to boo her. But now that she's in this story with Alexa, I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
want to see this story end.
yeah,
I don't. Originally, when it started, it was okay. They're building up to something at SummerSlam. Now it's like, don't end it at SummerSlam. I want to
yeah,
see this tag
yeah.
team
Let's
win
keep it going.
titles. I
Yeah,
want to see these guys week after week.
yeah,
And it go like Triple H said on Unreal. We're listening. And you said it earlier when we started, was we're listening to the fans, and it with the El Grande Americano. We saw it a couple years ago when The Rock said that he listened to the fans and made, them change the Cody storyline for Mania that year.
yeah,
We get to see behind the scenes how they're
yeah,
taking the fans into account. When Bruce Pritchard, like I said, brought up Jay as winning the Rumble in episode 2, it's okay. Let's see where we can go with this as fans, because it's in our court now. And John
yep,
Cena said it a couple weeks in an interview. You know, from this point on in my story for my final year, you
yep,
guys are going to dictate this. You guys are going to write the ending of this
yep,
story. So he
yep,
said, if you guys as fans ever want to feel like you're part of this industry or part of this company,
yep.
now's the time.
Now's the time.
He even said, he's like,
And
I don't want to steal my own catchphrase, but the time is
yeah,
now.
no. So the big thing this show has done for me, right? Like, again, I've been a wrestling fan on and off over the years, right? I was a wrestling fan as a kid. I kind of faded away a little bit. Attitude Era I was around, but I haven't like been like you, right? Like, you've stuck with all the different promotions and WWE throughout the years. I've come back, but this time I've been back full force. Partially because Rachel's invested, you're invested. It's just we've got a really good group of friends that are all in this. But all my life I've known that wrestling is, I know it's scripted. I know that there's storylines. I know that there's writing. I know that, like, things are planned out, right? They know who's going to win. They know who's going to lose. Like, all of that's there. I know that they rehearse and they practice their moves and the matches. I never realized how intricate it was until this show. So my respect for this performance, for this craft, is even higher now,
Mhm.
because I knew that there were things behind the scenes that they had to do, right? Okay, we had to script things, we had to know things, but I never realized, like, I thought the wrestlers kind of put together their performance and went out there and did it. I didn't realize that there's producers for each element, that there's
Mhm.
someone calling the shots on the timing. Okay, hey, we need to cut this move. And they're talking to the refs, and the refs are saying, okay, they're giving signals, cut this move and do this move, and
But
telling them they
it's
need to slow up, they need to speed up, slow down. Like, it's such a coordinated production and dance that
right.
everybody, every single person, the wrestlers in the ring, the referee, the producers, the production team, Triple H, like everybody has to be on the same page, following a script. It's so much more, and I think that's what I loved is the way Cody explained it at the beginning when his daughter was talking about her dad
Him being a
dances.
dancer. Yep, his daddy
Yep, he's like,
dances.
"Yep, your dad's gonna go dance," and that montage that they cut together with the music and the slow motion, I think illustrates perfectly what wrestling
Mhm.
is. It is a dance. So many moving parts, but it's a flow, right? And if somebody's off on their timing or their part, it throws off everything.
Yeah.
So it has to be such a coordinated, well structured dance to pull it off.
And
And the
one of those
fans
things
now are such a big part of that as well.
Oh, yeah. One of those things that really, I learned from that episode because I worked with indie promotions back in the day,
Mhm.
like 25 years ago, and, indie shows aren't televised. So there's not as much of the match production going on during the match.
Yeah.
But when just the respect I gained for, wrestlers when they were going over um, that match, Punk and what was that Saturday Night Main Event match? Was that Punk and Cody that Abyss was
Uh,
producing?
no, it was Seth and Punk.
Seth and Punk, that's who it was.
Yeah, because it was
But
Punk's return. Mhm.
when they were doing that match, it's when Abyss was like, "Okay, we got to cut the Anaconda Vice," but those guys in the ring, Punk and Rollins, they're like, "Okay, that was part of the match," so they knew, okay, we got to go from this move to that move to, and then to the
To
Anaconda Vice,
transition.
and then
Yep.
that's going to go into that. So now the referees relaying to them, "Hey, we got to cut this part." So now those two performers have to figure out, okay, we're cutting the Anaconda Vice. That means this move now has to transition somehow into that.
Mhm.
And we can't transition it the same way. So now those two in the ring have to communicate with each other without letting the fans
Yep.
know that they're doing it.
Which to me, I have a little more forgiveness now for
Mhm.
botches.
Oh,
They
yeah.
happen. We make
Mhm.
mistakes. But like, okay, when Rhea's backstage going through her move set with Priest, talking about what she's
Mhm.
gonna do with Liv, she's like, all right, I'm gonna whip her into this and go into this, and then we're gonna go into this, and we're gonna transition to this and this and this. And Priest is just like, that's a lot.
Yep. And then he was
Like,
just like, slow it down. But
yeah,
that's
but
just that
that's what
they,
they're thinking. I mean, so not only are they these elite athletes that are insanely strong and take a punishing, but then they have this mental athleticism that they
Mhm.
have to do the whole time. So not only that, not only are they thinking through the dance, the steps, and the coordination, but then they also have to make sure they're not selling it wrong.
Mhm.
They have to also perform. They have to make sure they're in character still. They have to make sure, like you just said, they're not giving it away to the fans. They're not, over communicating, right? Like,
Mhm.
so again, it's how you see how much trust plays into this. That there's, I think, we as fans have to understand there's so much more that could go wrong.
Mhm.
And so I have so much more respect for their craft now, understanding how much goes into it.
And
And
I
like,
wanted
damn,
to
that's
just
really impressive.
I just want to touch on
And it's
these
live.
fans. Oh, yeah. I just want to touch on these fans that are like, "Oh, it breaks kayfabe." There's a freaking bug in here. Um, that fans are like, "Oh, this is breaking kayfabe. Wrestling's we're not supposed to know this, that, and the other." I want those fans, if they are paying attention to us at all, to go and watch just the first episode because,
I would love to know their feedback. Yeah.
but I think them watching it, they would understand because a lot of those fans that are like, "Oh, it's breaking kayfabe, this, that, and the other, and we should never know this," are also those same fans that are on social media saying, "Oh, this person botched this. Look how Rhea or Io
Yeah.
or Seth botched this move. Look at this crap. This is BS. This other guy would never do this."
Yeah.
But they would understand more what goes into it because these superstars are doing this how many times a night, or I mean a year, that okay, what if you were in the ring and you had this whole match scripted,
Mhm.
and you were supposed to go from, let's say, a DDT into like a figure four or something and transition that way, but your brain tells you, shit, what was I supposed to do? But then
Mhm.
you your match from 2 weeks ago and are like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that, but you weren't.
Yeah.
They do this with a couple hours notice, or not a couple hours notice, but they get the match together within a couple hours before the show. How many, and we know it's a show, it's entertainment. What's also a show and entertainment are movies and TV shows.
Mhm.
How many stuntmen do you know go out there and script and do scripted fights on camera in one take and memorize everything an hour
Yeah.
or two before that scene gets filmed?
Yeah. While doing it live and having to stay in character and deliver lines and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah. So I think what we really are seeing, right? I guess Triple H again is putting professional wrestling, and this is what separates professionals from amateurs is
Mhm,
the level at which they're performing. You know, multiple times a week.
mhm,
You know, almost every week of the year they're on, and they're putting their body through crazy, crazy stuff. Like especially some of these angles they show too. You see how hard some of these hits are, and
mhm.
how much they
Yeah.
land and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, that's the big thing. It's like, and I understand some people don't want to see how the hamburger's made, right? They just want the burger, and that's
Yep.
fine. If you're one of those fans, totally understand, totally respect it.
Don't
You
watch
know,
the
and those are
show.
probably, yeah,
Don't
don't
spoil
watch it,
don't
right?
spoil anyone else's fun.
And that's part of it, right? There's some people that they don't want to watch the behind the scenes on movies, and that's totally cool. You know, enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. But for
Mhm,
me, I love this. I love seeing behind the scenes, and I love seeing what goes into it. And again, I think part of it's my production background because I've been in that live production situation, not as high stakes as producing a wrestling event like this caliber, but I
yeah,
have had live productions where everything hinges on my directing and calling. And if I call something wrong, the whole show gets thrown off. So
yeah.
I understand to an extent the pressure and the coordination that goes into all of that and the timing and the rehearsing and all this stuff. So that's for me. I just enjoy it because it's like, man, I can kind of understand. This is a way for me to kind of just a little bit be a little bit more invested in wrestling.
Mhm.
Like now it's not just the entertainment value for it. It's also like, man, I can relate to you guys now a little bit more. I'm not gonna be a wrestler, but I can relate to you because I understand the production side. I understand
Yeah.
the behind the scenes. So yeah,
For
it's cool.
me,
I mean, and it's so well produced. Oh my
oh god,
gosh.
yeah. Oh, wait till you see episode 2. Just they did some of the camera work during the Royal Rumble that they did. It's they like they show Penta doing a move and they pan over to that side of the ring, and then they pan over to this side and he's doing another move on someone else. And it's just they show different parts of the match as they pan across the ring. It's done phenomenally. But
Yeah. Yeah.
my last point is, for me personally, there are people that think, it breaks, your immersion into wrestling. But for me, it gives me more immersion because I can
Yeah.
see these guys outside of the ring. And I'm a huge NASCAR fan. And I watch drivers on TV drive in circles for years. But
Yeah.
with the invention of social media, I hated Kyle Busch as a wrestler, or not as a wrestler, as a race car guy,
100%.
as a driver for
Yeah.
years because of who he portrays himself on TV, because he even knows he's a character when he's on TV. And that's a
Yeah.
NASCAR driver. But with the invention of social media, you get to see them behind the scenes. I'm a huge Kyle Busch fan now. So I actually get to see some of these guys that on screen I don't like, even if they come out in the ring, I don't like them. Behind the scenes, I see who they really are, and that makes me say, okay, I might not like their character in the ring, but this guy, when he comes out, I want to see what he's going to do.
Prime example of this for me is Karrion Cross.
Oh,
I did
100%.
not like Karrion Cross. I did not like when they were doing the whole vampire dark brooding thing. I was very vocal about it. I didn't like it. But since he's been on social media and he's been, whether it's a character or not, the way he's been talking and the way that he's been putting a character out there, whatever it is, I have so much more respect for the guy now. I'm like, damn, I want more Karrion Kross too, and so does everybody else,
Yep.
because he's done such a good job of connecting with people. You only have a few minutes to connect on a TV show every week, so this has given them a chance to kind of really show what they're capable of. And again, I enjoy him so much more now. I'm like, now I want more Karrion Kross.
I'm a huge fan of Karrion Kross, and I was talking to Stefan about this on our drive back from TNA on Thursday. The genuine emotion with him is phenomenal. When he was up in the the suites doing his interview a couple weeks ago, and the fans started chanting, "We want Kross," you could tell he had a lot of emotion, but he was trying to stay in character. Next time they do something like that, pay attention to his wife. Pay attention to Scarlett behind him, because you can see the genuine emotion and joy for her looking at him, saying, and just by her look, you can say, you did this. This is something you did.
Yep.
No one gave you this character. You created it. The fans love you for who you are. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, WWE Unreal, go watch it if you want to. If you want to not break immersion, then don't watch it. But if you do watch it, drop some comments. Let us know what you think about it. We would love to know your thoughts. And if it's like me, right, like you enjoyed wrestling before, but now you understand so much more of it, or maybe something got brought to light that you didn't even think of before. We'd love to hear your feedback and your responses.
Yeah.
Because you're just as much a part of this conversation as we are. So I'd love to know what everybody else thinks about it.
And speaking of
predictions
and spoilers and high stakes production value.
Oh, I'm back.
SummerSlam
2025 in New Jersey.
Our first ever two-night
SummerSlam. Two? That's four.
Thank you. Oh. Our first ever two-night SummerSlam.
Wild.
We've got a lot going on. There's so many matches that have, or what we call gimmick matches, that have some kind of stipulation.
Yeah.
Or it's just weird to me. But some of them are actually really good. I want to start off with, just to get this one out of the way, because kind of don't know how I feel about the Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew and Logan. If we're going to see Drew, or is it going to be the Miz versus Logan, or Miz and Logan?
I love what Miz is doing on social now.
Yep.
Again, this goes back to the social, right? Miz is like, hey guys, I know somebody that's in America that can wrestle.
Yep. Fucking bug. Yeah. Jelly Roll has surprised me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw his interview with Stephanie, but he came out and was talking about when he cut his first real promo in the ring, how he went back to Paul Heyman and was like, give me your thoughts on how I did. And Paul Heyman said that he's a natural and was telling him, just giving him little tips and all that stuff. But Paul Heyman thinks that he's decent on the mic, because
Paul Heyman says you're decent, then that's huge.
Jelly Roll surprised me when he was in the ring.
Oh my gosh. And apparently they were off script too. They went off script on that thing. But he was going in on Logan. I mean, we were watching, we were just both like, dang, I don't know Jelly had that in him.
Yep.
I'm impressed. And then even seeing some of his moves already, I'm like, okay, Jelly Roll. I'm looking forward to it, only in that it's weird that Orton and Drew are in there, and I know they're probably in there for the professional aspect of things. But because I think it would be weird if it was just Logan and Jelly, because it's a very mismatched fight, because we know that Logan is a very good wrestler. We don't know how Jelly's going to actually wrestle. So I think that's that buffer, that safety, because they're learning not to just throw celebrities in matches by themselves. So now you've got that Orton and Drew buffer to help.
But been pretty much, he said, living in Orlando now. At the Performance Center. He's been training with The Undertaker, Michelle McCool, stuff like that. I mean, he said he's been there from the time they open till the time they close. So
he's serious. He's committed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love how he's like, this isn't going to be my last match. He's like, 75 more pounds, and I'm going to have a match with no shirt on.
Motivation, man. Motivation. Because
Yeah,
we've seen
he
other
said that
celebrities
was
say
his.
that they want to be wrestlers and they want to
Yep.
try it. And I'm not going to name them. We all know who it is, but it hasn't worked out.
No,
And they've been completely cut and removed from WWE. And, fortunately,
speaking of him, somebody being cut from WWE, go download the new patch of WWE 2K25 because they finally announced it. El Grande Americano
yes, he is in
is
it.
taking his spot. He was
Which
supposed to
I'm
be in.
glad that WWE is not trying to force people into things,
Yeah,
right? Because they did in the past. They would force people into roles and spots just because. So I think that was a big pivot, right? It was supposed to be somebody else, and now it's not that
yeah,
person's jelly roll. And again, it was
yeah,
probably supposed to be, you know, uh, him versus one person. They're like, we're going to put some actual wrestlers in there to make sure we get this thing done right and
yeah.
spot them and help them, right? It just, yeah, we need that. We need that safety buffer in there. So,
But
but
yeah.
Speed got wrecked. Speed got legit wrecked.
Oh God, when I was watching that, that was so great.
I gotta give Speed respect for that one, man. He took a hit.
Yeah, the dude's
That was,
a natural athlete, though. If you watch him on, if
yeah.
you follow him on
I
social
don't
media and
care
watch,
how good of an athlete you are, though, man. When
he
you
got broken in
Braun,
half.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's never been hit by a car until
Oh
then.
God, he got hit. That wasn't a car. That was a truck.
Yeah, the truck.
That was ridiculous.
All right, what match next?
So we're going to go through matches, then we're going to do our predictions after.
All right.
So, AJ.
Which
Finally
list are
getting
you
his hands
looking
on.
at? Because we're going in a different order here.
Oh yeah, I decided to. Sorry.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm following the same order.
Yep. We started at the Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Now we're gonna do AJ and Dominic.
Okay, I'll just follow you. Go ahead.
Because a lot of people have been, talking about AJ doing this comedy gimmick the last couple weeks, with his different characters, and they've been saying, "Oh, they're turning him into the new R-Truth because they're making him do
No,
this comedy show."
nope, I don't think so.
I don't either. I just think
Yeah.
it was AJ being AJ because
Yeah, I think we're seeing more of their personality come out.
yeah, because he knows he's in his final run. He said he signed a new contract and this is his last one. He's going to retire in WWE. He said so. I think he's just having fun.
Let's be honest. Have you seen the meme? I mean, the original meme where it's the Undertaker behind AJ and he's all right, like happy. Somebody did a version of it where it's Dominic Mysterio on AJ's name and AJ
Yep.
Styles on Taker. And
Yep.
I think this is one of those things, right? Like AJ recognizes this, and I'm sure he's seen it, right? So he's probably kind of going that route, being that looming character.
Yeah.
He wants to be the Taker in this meme now. But man, I have loved his segments where he's just in the background. This whole thing of him just messing with Dominic and just the whole like.
I just don't understand. And plot holes. There's always something that I catch that I don't understand. But when what's his face was getting the paperwork from the doctor and saying that he had to go talk to WWE Medical or whatever to see if Dom was cleared.
Yeah.
He didn't know if Dom was cleared. And the paperwork didn't show that Dom was cleared. But then Dom comes and attacks AJ and says, "I'm cleared." But no one else knew that he was cleared, not even the doctor.
Well, the doctor, there was a note written on it.
But
did you not catch that part?
No, but they were looking at the paperwork, and Adam Pearce was like, "Oh, I don't know if he's clear. It doesn't say if he's cleared or whatever."
I think that's part of the joke, though, is that Dominic never had anything wrong with him. He was clear the whole time.
Oh, I know.
Right?
But,
and I think that's that ridiculousness of it, is that Dom just being that like scoundrel, right? Like lie, cheat, steal,
plot holes.
Trying to cover himself. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good match because AJ has he held that title?
The IC title, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It's the American.
The U.S. title.
The U.S.
The
title.
American
Yeah.
title.
Listen. Okay. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good match. I think we got two really good guys going at it.
We'll touch on it quick. There's not much of a real story here between them other than the last couple weeks, but Raquel and Roxanne versus Charlotte and Alexa.
Yeah. I don't need a story. I'm just happy that we're seeing more Charlotte and Alexa.
Oh, I'm loving it on social media when she made Charlotte do the cheer thing.
I think we're going to see a Liv return. I think even if Liv is injured, I think we're going to see a return at SummerSlam. That's going to further that story more.
I don't know. I think we'll see. I hope Charlotte and Alexa win. Don't get me wrong.
I would love to see a little bit of a run with them. Yeah.
Yep. So, as everyone probably has heard, I'm a huge Alexa fan. So,
a little bit.
So, favorite female wrestler of all time.
We probably should just do our predictions at the end of each segment.
All right. We'll go back.
Okay.
Randy and Jelly versus Drew and Logan and mystery partner.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm calling that Jelly and Randy.
Yep. Same.
Yep.
We'll do it that route. And then AJ and Dom.
I think it's gonna be Dom.
I want AJ to win it. The only reason I'm gonna say Dom is because of his match at Triple Mania. And they already shown him holding both titles when he came out last week or over the weekend. So I think that's how we're going to see that. We're going to see Dom retain it, and then he's going to be double champion when he beats Vikingo.
I think it'll be more interference too.
Yep. So, and
SummerSlam is this coming weekend, Britt. It's Saturday night and Sunday night. Yeah.
And just my point on this, I don't think with Finn and Bobblehead winning the tag titles, and now that all members of Judgment Day have titles, I don't think they're going to strip those away yet, because them having even tag titles in the IC title, that's why I don't think Alexa and Charlotte are going to win.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I want them to win.
I don't know. I think I want Alexa and Charlotte, but I think it's going to be a DQ of some kind. And that's my thinking, is that it's going to be a DQ and Liv's going to come back and interfere. But Liv is going to attack Roxanne and cause the DQ. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I see. I don't see Liv coming back yet, because how long did they say she was going to be out?
I don't think they actually said how long she was going to be out.
I think they said it was shorter. Oh no, that was Seth Rollins. They said it's not going to be as long as they originally thought. I
think she'll come back, but she'll probably still be in like a sling, and so I think they'll play the angle because they need to get her back in the storyline somehow.
Not only do they need to get her back in the storyline somehow, they need to get her on screen at SummerSlam, being the New Jersey native.
Yep.
So she's from New Jersey. She's that Jersey girl.
Yep.
They're going to have her involved somehow.
Yeah.
So if Lyra loses, she can never face Becky for the IC title again.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. Are we going to see a Bayley interference of some kind?
I was just going to say, after you said what you had to say, I was going to say we might, with Bayley coming out in her interview the other night or last night, saying that she doesn't know where she goes from here. I think because she's going to get involved, and it's going to cause a DQ. Lyra's going to win by DQ. She doesn't get the title, but she still didn't lose. So that's going to lead to the Clash in Paris as a triple threat match.
Yeah. I think that okay. I can see that route.
Yeah, and then Bayley wins the title at Clash in Paris.
Yeah, that's possible. Okay, I'm with you on that one.
That's the only way I see that going, because I don't see Lyra winning or beating Becky clean.
Yeah, I don't either. Yep.
So, and Becky doesn't have any friends backstage. Well, story wise. She doesn't have any friends
Yeah.
backstage that will come out and help her.
Not that I can think of.
No, she's alienated herself in this,
Yeah.
and she's better than everyone. So
Mhm.
she's more hated than Charlotte. Whoever would have thunk it?
Yeah.
So we're in agreement. Lyra's
Yep.
going to win via DQ.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one.
Then we get into, we're going to go with Tiffany and Jade. If they give the title to Jade, I riot.
I'm sorry. I'm still not a Jade fan.
I'm not
And
either.
I will say she's gotten a little bit better. She's gotten better match wise. She's gotten better on the mic. But here's my thing. There's no story for me.
No.
She won Queen of the Ring. Okay. So she has her chance to challenge for the title. Okay. But as far as story, I'm not invested in Jade as a champion.
Right.
Right. And Naomi's already cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, so we don't have to worry about that cash in happening. So I don't see them giving it to Jade other than them wanting to put it on her for visual
Well, not only
sake.
for the visual, but because I don't see, and they've never built anything up. I don't see Jade feuding with anyone other than Bianca.
Yeah, other than Bianca. Yeah.
So if they do
It would
put
make
the
more
title
sense
on her,
if Bianca won the title at some point and Jade is feuding with Bianca over the title. That would
right.
make sense to me. But again, yeah, the Tiffy, there's no rub there for me between Tiffy
Right.
and Jade.
There's no rub with anyone backstage. Any other female superstars that I can
Naomi.
see. But Naomi's on Raw. Jade's on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So there's really no, and Naomi's now doing her thing with Rhea and Io, which I think is going to build into more with Rhea, hopefully. But I just don't see it other than if they give it to her, it's going to lead up to her fighting Bianca. That's it.
Yep. I've got no real investment in this one. I'm gonna say I want Tiffy to win it. I want her to keep it.
Tiffy to win it.
Yeah.
And feud with Chelsea. Please.
Yes, that would be a good feud. I like that.
I want to see that.
Mhm.
I want to see Tiffy or Chelsea with the world title. Because her character is...
She would be a great run. Yeah. Yep, she did a great job with the U.S. title.
Oh, yeah.
Her run was fantastic.
Thing and all that is amazing.
She's just a great character. She really is. She just has that presence.
I love how she was the U.S. champion, saying she has the secret Hervis. She came out with a presidential seal pretty much and then she still was like on social media about all being Canadian. I loved it. Next up.
All right. Next.
We're going to go with Solo and Jacob.
Cage match. Steel cage match.
I don't know how I missed that.
I don't know either.
I don't either. I did miss an episode of SmackDown a couple weeks ago because I was at a concert.
I think
for some reason I don't know how I didn't catch up on it.
I think it's going to be a good match. Again, Jacob and Solo, we've got the story there, the feud there, right? It's no longer "I love you, Solo."
I hate you, Solo.
I hate you, Solo.
Hate you, bitch.
So I think we're just gonna have a fun, brutal match. I'm gonna say my money's on Jacob.
Do you think we're going to see Tama Tonga come back to help Jacob?
Maybe.
Or do you see Tama Tonga come back and still stay sided with Solo?
Or we might get another introduction somehow. Or it could be Jimmy.
There's rumors that Jimmy's moving to Raw.
Yeah, this could be a way for them to bring Jimmy back into that bloodline story again, right? He sides with Jacob, brings Jacob into the bloodline. Jacob's Roman's new enforcer.
But then he'd have to move to Raw.
Yeah, they can move him around.
Yeah, they could.
We've seen them move people around. he doesn't have much else going on right now with the Bloodline story, so this could
Yeah,
be like the ending of that storyline on SmackDown and move him over to Raw. So I think this would be a good ending to that story. Him and Solo finally hashing it out.
I think we see Jacob win it back. Fingers
I hope
crossed.
so. I hope so. I like him as a champ.
Oh God, yes. Jacob in general, on the mic, in the ring, just phenomenal.
I think I think it was originally the plan for Solo to be more of the face of that group, and then Jacob just stole the show.
Oh
Jacob
God,
just
yeah.
came in and just
That's what a lot of
outperformed.
people were saying, and even I said it at the beginning. It's like when Solo came out and they were like, "Oh, he's the new tribal chief." I'm like, and then there were rumors that they signed Jacob, but then they kept pushing. Well, rumors are he was going to come out this week. Then it was like, "Oh no, he's going to come out next week," and I even said that they pushed Jacob's debut, kept pushing it back because him on the mic is way better than Solo, and they didn't want to take that focus off Solo at the beginning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad they got this feud going though, because it's the only thing that's making Solo look good right now.
I say Solo's come a long way though.
His
We
fake
were
Godfather laugh and everything
Yeah,
growing
Alex
on
Alex
me.
and I were talking about this because when we were at SmackDown the other week, Solo is fun to watch.
Yeah,
The way he interacts with the crowd is something I wish they would show more of because he's very good at interacting with the crowd. But his character's come a long way as far as his mic skills, his development. It's not just a Samoan Spike anymore, right? Like he's actually becoming a character that you could get behind. And I'm like, okay, I want to see more Solo. I want to hear
like
more
he
from
was.
Solo.
And go back and watch his promos when he was in NXT. They were actually pretty good. But coming up to the main roster, I think the nerves got to him, and being in that bigger arena and
Yeah,
wondering about the fans, but finally coming around a little bit. But I still want to see Jacob win it because he's a beast.
all right, let's roll through the rest of these. What's next?
We're gonna go with Karrion and Sammy. Don't know where they're
Are we
going
going to
with
see
this
it?
one.
Are we going to see a Sammy turn?
I hope so, but I don't see how.
Instead of unhinged KO, we're going to get unhinged Sammy.
God, that would be great.
I think that's what we might see in that, like, we'll see this kind of like psychotic break in Sammy, and it'll be because Karrion finally got to him mentally.
Mm.
So I think we might just see like a Sammy conflicted Sammy run.
Yep.
Where Sammy wants to help his friend but doesn't want to. Right? He realizes that he's got to go out for himself, or he's never going to get what he wants, type thing. But then he's also going to still have that conflict where it's Sammy's the good guy and he always wants to do the right thing, right? So I think that could be a fun little run to see Sammy on.
Yeah. And then we start seeing Sammy side more with Karrion, and he joins, and that's where Karrion's faction starts.
Yep. Yep.
I still think Karrion's going to win.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, in the match I know you're looking forward to, which I think is going to be probably the match of SummerSlam, the 6-team TLC match.
Bro, I can't believe that. That was such a bomb when they dropped it on SmackDown the other night.
I did not see that. We've got the Wyatt Six, who are the champions, against the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Fraxium, and Andrade and Ray Phoenix.
We've been talking about this a little bit too, like offline and on the podcast, how the tag division just hasn't been that great lately, story-wise. Talent's good, right?
Yeah.
The talent's great. But I feel like there haven't really been good storylines. And I think this is finally that culmination we're seeing of they're trying to develop that storyline. But I think bringing the Wyatts in as a tag team is helping that. So yeah, I think it's going to be chaos, right? 6-man or 6-team tag match.
The largest
So I think it's just
TLC
going to be
match we've seen in WWE.
Yeah.
So,
and I know it's not going to happen. Part of me wants to see the Hardys show up just because it's a TLC match, or even the Dudley Boys.
That would be great.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping, as much as I don't want to see Ray Phoenix win the tag titles with somebody else, I want to see him and Andrade win it.
I don't think they're going to win.
I don't. That's my hope. I think the Wyatts
see. Yeah, I think that's my prediction. I think the Wyatts are going to retain. I think we're going to see a little bit of a Wyatt push now. I think I've been part of it, right? They've been trying to figure out what to do with the Wyatts because again, we've been wanting to move away from the supernatural aspect of things,
Yeah.
and they wanted to do that without disrespecting Bray's memory because Bray was very big on that more supernatural. So I
Yep.
think they've done a good job of honoring that, moving on from it, but still leaving that legacy. But the Wyatts are very much more believable
Yeah.
faction. They're not just pooping appearing everywhere now. Um, so yeah, I think it's time. I think they've maybe finally figured out their story backstage, and now we're gonna start to see them develop more um, in the ring. I hope.
Yeah. I really hope the Wyatt Six doesn't get buried after this. If they lose the
Yeah,
title, I just hope that's not it.
yeah, same.
We haven't seen Uncle Howdy debut back in the ring yet, so we still need to move into that. So
Hmm.
I hope the Wyatts retain, and then we move on from there and see where that goes.
Hmm. Yeah, yep.
Last two: Naomi, Rhea, and Io.
It's Rhea.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want Rhea to win, man. I've been wanting her to win every single time. So it's an interesting thing because what is it? 5-0 now against EO. They've had this feud, and man,
0-5.
I know
She's 0-5.
we didn't talk about Evolve, but holy cow, the
Evolution.
show that the female superstars put on was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
And that main event that Io and Rhea put on was just a masterclass in
that was amazing.
performance, in skill. It was great. And then to see the respect they had for each other at the end was just freaking great. Like, yeah, they're two superstars. Io, and I've noticed too, they really let Io start to shine again. They really let her be herself, right? I felt like she was like, yeah, right. And then I love that when Rhea does that too. So we've got the Kabuki Warriors back together, and they're great together. But now they're letting Io just be Io and do what Io does. Io, the genius of the sky. Let her fly. Let her do, because they've done some moves, man, that were just ridiculous lately, and it's been great.
Yeah,
So as much as I love Io, lots of respect for Io, I want to see Rhea back on top. Because I think what I want to see is I want to see a Rhea run, but it's selfish Rhea Ripley. Because Rhea talked about that in the show, how Rhea Ripley is supposed to be that dark, merciless character. And I think we got away from that. We got the kind of fun Rhea, the laughy, bubbly Rhea with the whole Dominic stuff and all that. So I think now that they've broken her down, they've removed her from Priest, the Terror Twins, from Judgment Day and all that. I want to see just the powerhouse solo Rio run where
yeah.
she's just stomping everybody in her way. She's just a force to be reckoned with, and she's going to do whatever it takes to keep that title.
See, I think with how they're pushing Naomi right now, I don't think she's going to win it this quick or lose it this quick.
That's true. That's true. Which, again, I will say, Naomi's done a great job. Naomi's done a great job like evolving her character, completely redesigning herself, and I'm like, damn, I want because I was, I wasn't super big on Naomi before, getting kind of
Yep.
tired of her with the glow gimmick. But man, since she's done this crazy stalker thing and now has a title, I got to give it to Naomi. She's done a good job reinventing herself and really like coming out there and being somebody like, okay, I actually want to see what's going to happen with Naomi this week. So
Yeah.
good job, Naomi. I know
And
my opinion
I
doesn't mean
think
anything, but
with Bailey's promo last night about where do we go from here, or where I don't know where I'm going from here, is if she doesn't get involved and they move her away from the IC title, I see her getting involved in this match.
yeah, yep,
And then she's going to come out and say, I need to focus on me. I need to focus on the world championship again. I need to, do what's best for me.
yeah.
I would love that, angle. So I think
And this
Naomi
is a way for Rhea to win the title and not beat Io because she can pin Naomi for the title, and then Io's still 5-0.
And yeah.
So yeah, so that's a good little run they've been doing. I'm glad that they've been keeping that going. But yeah, this would be a way for them to transition without tarnishing that record.
So you say Rhea, I say Naomi. One of the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
ones we haven't agreed on.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a good match though. I'm looking forward to it.
And the match that I am hoping big things for John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
We missed a match.
Did we?
Roman and Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We talked about them a lot before
We did.
with the show, but just quickly, we'll cover this one. Roman and Jay versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I want to see Roman and Jay win it. And I hope that there's going to be some sort of debut of some kind. We're going to start to see that bloodline factor come back for Roman.
I want to see him win it, but I don't think they will. Especially how they're pushing the Braun Browns.
Bronze. Yeah. Yeah. Those will be another one we disagree on. I want to see Roman and Jay win it.
Oh, I want to see him win. Don't get me wrong. But
if we're being realistic, yes, Braun and Bronson are going to win it. They're favored to win, if we're being realistic. Again, the push that they're getting right now, I think we'll see a very strong-looking Roman in this match. But yeah, I think ultimately Braun and Bronson are going to win via some sort of tomfoolery. So
I would die if, with the rumors of Jimmy moving to Raw, if Jimmy comes out and costs Roman and Jay the match, leading to a Jay and Jimmy feud. But
there's been rumors that they're going to reunite Jay and Jimmy for some tag action.
That's what I've heard too.
Mm-hmm. I think Jay and Jimmy feud could be good, but we kind of had that a little bit already when Jay started going solo.
Yeah.
So
with the whole beginning of the bloodline where they didn't see eye to eye and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they've already made up since then and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be weird if Jimmy flipped that again. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Braun Browns.
Yeah, we'll go with Braun Browns as the actual winners. We want Roman and Jay, but we believe it's not a spoiler anymore. It's a prophecy.
It's a prophecy.
Yeah, because now he's the Oracle.
It's an oraculation.
All right, so the undisputed WWE champion, John Cena, battles Cody Rhodes.
Double turn.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Double turn. We're going to see
We've been seeing hints of it with Cody.
We're going to see The Rock come back. We're going to see The Rock turn on John. Cody's going to they're going to play it off like, oh, I finally saw the error of my ways. The Rock is my guy. And Cena's going to spend because we saw the first half of his retirement run as a heel.
Yep.
You need the second half to be a face if you want to go through his pretty much entire career, because he's been both heel and face. So
because what they've been doing too with his career is they've been replaying all of his greatest matches with different outcomes.
Yep.
Right? We had the pipe bomb where he put Punk through the table. We had that whole moment. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a double turn because we've been seeing some real heel activity out of Cody the past few weeks.
Yep. Hitting him with
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes would never have forced a signature. Nope. Right? Like, that's not Cody. And so I think
hitting John with the title.
Mm-hmm. Yep, hitting John with the title. We're really seeing, because Cody even talked about he's got to do. Did he even say something like a line recently, like it's best for business?
Yep.
He's got to do what's best for business. He's got to do what's best for himself.
And then he posted
so we're seeing selfish Cody
on social wearing the same glasses that The Rock was wearing in the promos.
And the cryptic tweet that he kind of like brushed off that he posted a couple weeks ago about talking about like, everyone, thanks for coming with me on this run, but like it's time or something like that. Like essentially saying, like hinting at it's time for a change, but thanks for everybody that's been
a lot of people were speculating, oh, he's leaving WWE, he's done. But
we're going to see Homelander Cody.
We're going to see, you didn't follow him back then, but we are going to see dark hair Cody. No, we're going to see dark hair Cody. He's going to turn at SummerSlam.
Yep.
And on Monday night, he's going to come out with dark brown hair.
What night is their match? Are they the main event Sunday night? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't. They haven't.
What if they're night one and we see him come back at night 2 with dark hair?
What would he come back from night 2 for, though?
He's the champ at that point. If he comes back with the belt, he'd just show up. He's the champ.
But I think that's going to be night 2. I think the Roman
Probably.
and Bronson match the Roman and Jay match is going to be night one. Unless they're doing night one is going to be the women's championship match main event.
That's possible.
So
they are doing more as far as putting the women in main events and giving them more spotlight.
Yep.
Which, you know, I've said it before, but I'm really hoping that we start to see some intergender matches. They kind of did a little bit of it last night on Raw. You know, we got to see AJ with my gosh, my brain just stopped. The Kabuki Warriors going up against Roxanne. And man, him using Kyrie as a projectile.
Oh god, that was great.
That was great.
Yeah,
it was Chelsea. That's right. It's Chelsea and Judgment Day. Yep. So
that was a good match. But
yeah, it was very good.
I really do think we're going to see the double turn. And
yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride if that's the case.
If Travis Scott comes out, I'm done.
Bro. Fiend.
Oh, I will turn it off.
If The Rock comes out with Travis Scott. What if The Rock comes out with Travis Scott and then Cody finally gets his receipt on Travis Scott, and that's how Travis Scott completely gets removed from WWE? That's Cody's heel turn. That's what turned Cody heel.
Yeah, he got his bell rung. He hasn't been seen straight since then. So yeah, I don't think Cody's going to win.
Nope.
I'm
looking forward to it though. Honestly, like overall, I think it's a great card. Both nights look really solid. A lot of good matches. Even if there isn't a lot of story for some of these matches, I think they're still going to be entertaining. Which I think that's another thing, right? We saw this with we didn't talk about main event because main event was terrible in our opinions.
It wasn't though.
But Money in the Bank. We've been seeing that they're starting to do matches for entertainment's sake. Not everything has to have a story. Not everything has to have a purpose, right? Like AJ and Dom doesn't really have a story. It's just entertainment. It's fun. It's something there. You know, you're looking at Sammy and Karrion has a story. Again, Tiffy and Jade, not really a story. So I think like Jelly Roll and Drew, right? Not really a story. So we're gonna have some matches that are just entertaining. And that's what WWE is doing again is, hey, here's some fun matches. Here's some entertainment. Let's just see the superstars, just see your favorite people just do stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have the stories. We have the bigger things. So yeah.
The only way I could see Cody winning the title is if the second half of his retirement year, he wants to do, if John wants to do more matches with people to help, you know, like he did with Bray Wyatt, those kind of fun matches, if he wants to do that, which I could see because he doesn't need a title to stay relevant. He doesn't need a title for people to, you know, want to watch him. So he could feud with other people. And this would lead into, you know, Cody's second run and feuding with someone new.
I still like the theory of this isn't really John Cena.
Oh God, I don't.
Could we see Truth come out during this?
I was going to say that earlier, slipped my mind, but yeah, that would be great.
So, and the only reason I think that is because if we go way back, right? I think we talked about it before, but the whole thing with like Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse, and how John Cena was trapped in the Funhouse. If somehow, maybe that element is still there, and that's what John Cena. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I don't think SummerSlam is going to be a reveal of that. I think that'll be something on a Raw or SmackDown, if that is the route. So I think SummerSlam will stand alone as whoever wins it. That's their spotlight. This is what's going to happen now, and then we're going to see conflicted Cena if he loses, and then maybe if that angle is part of the story, that we see that on a vignette or something that they put together.
Cena versus Uncle Howdy.
There you go. Cena versus Uncle Howdy. Because we know the door's still there. The lantern. So it could be a way for them to, again, wrap up Bray's story and give closure to that.
The real John Cena's trapped in the lantern.
Maybe. Ooh, you're freezing. There you go. Yeah, you're good. You're good now. You froze a couple times. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great weekend. Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not a dud. like we've seen in the past.
I don't think so. I feel like the momentum's been pretty good for the PLEs. They've been doing a good job. But again, we talked about this before. The first couple PLEs that Cena was a part of, he was meant to ruin wrestling. And that's what he was trying
Yeah.
to do. And Cody Rhodes is going to save us. So, Anna.
And that's where the whole Cody thing is going. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be he signs with The Rock, beats Cena.
It's best for business, and best for business is me saving wrestling.
Yes, and this is me saving wrestling, and you have to thank me now.
I had to do what I had to do for you, for the universe.
Yep, and that's going to be his whole thing.
That's it. Yep. I like it. I like it.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
Yep. So. Yeah, we didn't get into Slam, but we can talk about it a little bit if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can.
So, Slam. There's big stuff going on right now. Yep. Not a lot. The sets haven't been that bad either. Yeah, the Berlin set I know you weren't a fan of. But other than that, I didn't think the sets were I like the SummerSlam set they're doing.
Oh,
I bought way too much of the SummerSlam set. Yeah, I bought way too much of that.
After the last event they had, I like what they're doing with the SummerSlam event. Making it easier to finish. Because the last event they did it where one step was you had to open a mystery box.
Yeah.
And then the second to last step of the event was open 2 mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Which, if you weren't on it that much, it was harder for you to finish the event to try to collect the cards that you could only get from those event packs.
And this one you can complete several times a day.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
So I do like what they're doing with that. But there's been, since the last time we were on real quick, there's been a bunch of different sets that have come out. So...
Well, they're doing this now. We have a whole new prize wheel.
Yep. We have prize wheel.
They released more base set stuff.
Yeah. Because the prize wheel before, last time we were on, it was just pretty much base tier 1 cards, and that was it.
Yep.
And
all recycled,
Yep, all recycled. Now the prize wheel can actually have more gold spots on it. Because I had one earlier that had 4 gold spots.
Yep.
So, and then you have event only cards where people that I just don't like that they're selling the event bronze cards.
Pay to win. Yeah.
Yep. So it's pretty much pay to get the top tier. Because I had like 70 something Rhea Ripley ones, and I was happy. I think I have 73 now, and I've traded a couple, but I was on social media and somebody had 4,500 and something. And I was like, why? So if you're not spending money, you're not getting those cards. Or if you're not on it all the time, you're screwed. But there's been a bunch of new sets, sets that I'm not a fan of. Merlin set, didn't like.
I like some of the cards in the Merlin set.
I just couldn't get into the artwork on them. They just look so...
They look like the Chrome.
To me, it looks like they had a graphic design intern design them and just said, okay, that's
some of them, though. That's what I'm saying. I like some of them. If you go to the higher rarity ones, I think it was like some of the rare ones that look like tarot cards, the prophecies. Yeah. Like, I like those. I think those look cool.
I just wasn't a fan. But yeah, the Merlin set, they had the Topps gold label, which...
Some of those look cool.
Some of them did look cool. The new SummerSlam set, phenomenal. Love it. I've already got.
I'm disappointed in that some of the cards are too hard to get. Like the flip book ones.
Yeah.
Are only available, I think, in the gem packs.
The booked ones, these ones?
Yeah.
That.
Yep. Like, I don't even think there's a chance to pull it.
A lot of them are like 1 of 1 though, so
not those. There's specific ones that are 1 of 1.
Yeah,
that they're doing that scavenger hunt for, basically.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, yeah.
The 1 of 1 mini booklets.
Can we? One thing I do want to talk about that I don't like is I like the set, but I don't like the way they're doing the set. Is the Ascendancy sets. The Alexa Bliss one, especially.
Oh.
So I love the set. I love the design of the cards and all that stuff. What I don't like is that you can only get certain color cards from the pay
And
packs.
yep,
And
get
when
the
you buy
yellow
the
ones
gem
in the
packs,
standard.
one card per pack for 600 gems. And if you scroll down, what is it, like $12 for 5 cards? Because it's one card per pack.
And you have
And
a
then one guaranteed
1% chance at a
rare.
legendary motion for $12.
Like it shouldn't be rare. It should be super rare, iconic, or legendary.
For $12, yeah. For
Yeah.
5 cards,
Because I
100%.
pulled a 600 gem one and I got a rare that I already had. Yeah.
I've been trying to trade for him.
Nobody will
And
trade, man.
that's not going like I want it to. I've gotten
Alexa and
some of
Liv
them.
are like two that people will not trade.
Yep. I've been getting some of them. I got a couple, but they're just
I think I've got a bunch of those. I think I've got like 4 or 5 of those
I
Alexas.
think I got that one from you.
Probably. So I brought up something to Rachel today because I was pulling cards and we were talking about stuff. And I feel like certain certain people have less of a chance of pulling certain cards. So like I think, for example, let's say there's a Zelina Vega in a set, right?
Mhm.
I can pull a bunch of cards and never get a Zelina. Not that I don't have a chance to, but I think that the RNG for me is just so low. And I think they
Mhm.
do that so that like certain cards for certain people just randomly
Don't
have a very
oversaturate.
low pull chance. That and then it encourages trading more. So
Mhm.
like some of the cards that you haven't pulled many of, like let me look at set right now. Like that Alexa Bliss. Okay, let's go back to that Ascendancy set for a second. I'm curious because I've pulled probably just as many. You probably pulled more than me, actually.
Oh, I've pulled.
Let's
Oh
see.
God.
Yeah. So Ascendancy. Let me look at my set here. Okay, so the uncommons, the pink base rare. Uh, I don't even have the pink base rare.
I have
Okay.
one of those.
Yep. The pink X Fractor rare. I've got one.
See, I don't have. I'll trade you a live for that.
We can talk. Let's see what else I have here. The yellow base uncommon. I've got 3 of the yellow base uncommon.
I've got 2.
Okay. Got 3 of those. The yellow
X Fractor.
X Fractor. I got 10.
See, I
10.
have to trade. I have to trade for those.
I have 10.
I have 2, and I have to trade for those.
What else? Now let's see the next one down. The yellow relic rare. I've got one of those.
I have to trade for that too.
Mhm.
The only card I actually pulled from that set, like personally without trading, was the pink base rare. That's the only card
The one I want that I haven't pulled is I want one of these, whatever rarity I can get for evolution card. I want that one so bad.
Which
I
set's
love
that
the
in?
design. That's in this set. It's the Alexa Bliss super rare. So if you go down, it's the super rare
The
yellow
super
signature.
rare.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think there's a pink relic. No, pink relic super rare. I want to say there's a pink version of it too, isn't there?
I have somebody on my friends list has
Oh,
it.
it's a pink signature iconic. Not getting that from
Ooh,
anybody.
somebody's got 3. We're gonna try to trade that one.
Yeah, let's try.
Oh, somebody's got 4.
The thing is, you try to trade with people, and I'll try. Like, I will give them 5 super rares of
Yep.
cards that I think they like based on what they have. I'll try to give them 5 cards for one, and they're like, nope. Like,
yeah, like
people are very stingy on this app. I've noticed.
Like I told you earlier, look at this trade. 5 or actually 7 cards, all of them except the this Penta card are all singles. I don't have dupes of any of these. A Penta, a Tiffy, fucking Alistair Black. And then he wants to trade me a bunch of base tier set cards that he has tons of.
Yeah.
And it's
Somebody
like,
wanted one of my iconics the other day, and I ended up trading them. And I added a card because I was like, I just tried to find something of similar value, like similar GC, similar global count. And they were completely fine with that. They're like, oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. I was like, great. Like, again, if it's a card that I'm not trying to collect like a person, I'll pass it off, man. Like, and like this person, I don't know if this guy or not, but this person, right? They've got a really good trade rating. And, I sent them a bunch of rares for a few of their cards that I wanted. and I said, "Hey, please take a look if you have anything I want." And he passed back, "Sorry, didn't really see anything I'm looking for. Thanks for the offer. Have a good day." That's fine. If you want
Yeah.
to deny a trade, cool. Just yeah, no problem. If you don't see anything you want because you're collecting, cool. No hard feelings.
Yep. And yeah, it's just like I tried to trade for I can't even remember what it was now, but it was an iconic. I literally put 2 iconics and 5 super rares for things that it looked like he was collecting based on
And
his
man, the
collection.
the
And it got denied.
forum is rough.
What is?
The forum, the subreddit for the
Oh, on
chops.
Top Slam?
Yeah, it's rough. Like people are brutal in there. Like they'll post and be like, "Look how stupid this trade is. Look how dumb this person is. Can you believe this?" Like this one. I did this trade the other day just because I felt nice. So this guy traded me a Lyra, right? An
Mhm.
uncommon Lyra, and he wanted my rare Tiffy. At first I declined it, but I was like, you know what? I messaged back. I was like, you know what? Go ahead and do the trade. Because
Mhm.
I had 2 of the rares. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
He's probably trying to complete his collection. He probably really likes Tiffy. I'm like, whatever. I have 2. Take it. I don't
right.
care if it's an uncommon. Like, it's they're virtual cards. Like we're not trying to sell them or make money. I'm trying to collect. And I'm trying
Yes.
to get the people that I really like. So
Like me.
yeah, it's
I finally did it at 154.
ridiculous.
But yeah, it's just the trading is ridiculous. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's
But
a little rough out there.
if you do want to trade, follow me, whatever.
Yeah,
Just get 'em.
me too.
And what's
What is
yours?
mine? What is
Oh,
mine?
yours is
Oh, just Marksman.
very good.
MARXM4N. Yep, that's mine.
So
Yeah, me.
I have a low trade rating because people suck.
Oh, what's my trade rating at? 4.8 out
4.8.
of 5 out of
I'm at
130 reviews.
3.9.
You got up. How are you only VIP level 13? I'm VIP level 21.
I haven't bought that many packs.
I bought a few.
You get more when you buy stuff with gems and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just follow me, trade me. I'm
Yeah.
collecting right now.
Listen,
My
if you see
set,
stuff in my collection, I'm not trying to complete sets. So if you
I
see
am.
something you want,
I'm
I'm
trying to
on.
complete the base tier 2 set. So these are all the people I'm collecting. So if you have anything, send me trades. But we're looking forward to SummerSlam this weekend.
Really
Our
looking forward to it. Yep.
next episode will recap what happens for that and the fallout
We
on
got a
Raw.
few people coming over for it, so that'll be fun.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
But